It is April 13th, 2018. This is the Watchman News, and I'm Mike Callahan. We're all waiting for a statement from Trump. Sputnik has come out and reported a little bit ago that Trump is due to make a statement soon about a possible strike being imminent in Syria. So we are waiting for more information or video on that. However, I was checking RT to see if there was any information about this statement from Trump, and I didn't see anything yet on RT about it. However, I did see some rather breaking information on RT about the situation in Syria itself. And I'm telling you, just like I put in the monologue today, we aren't in any better shape. We're not. And if this doesn't prove it, I don't know what else does, right? So we've got countries, and I put this in the monologue too. We had, and we tweeted it out earlier this morning. I know of two countries we tweeted, and they said they aren't getting involved. They are going to stay out of it. Because anybody with two brain cells to rub together can see what's going on here. And our government, the ones that are largely behind a lot of these false attacks, or I'm not saying the attack didn't happen or it did, but I can tell you that it wasn't Assad, because that would have been the absolute stupidest move that he could have made in his situation, especially after United States, or I should say Trump, saying he was going to start pulling troops out of Syria. Then why would you give Trump a reason to keep troops there? There's a million and one angles, a million and one reasons why it would have been the biggest bonehead idea for Assad to gas his own people. Among a simple fact, why would you do that anyway? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's absolutely stupid. So anyway, this report came out and it is absolutely blowing my mind. State Department claims U.S. has proof Damascus was behind Douma attack, but it's classified. Right? So they can prove it. They really can. Right? But you just got to believe them. I mean, I've seen the worst movies ever that are better than this. Seriously. The U.S. State Department has claimed to have proof that the Syrian government was the perpetrator of an alleged chemical attack in Douma. It refused to make the evidence public as the intelligence is classified. State Department spokesperson Heather Nauert said on Friday that the U.S. has a very high level of confidence that it was the Syrian government that launched an alleged chemical weapons attack on civilians in Douma on April 7. Asked by AP's Matt Lee if the U.S. can say that it has clear evidence of the Syrian government's culpability, Nauert responded that while she cannot speak for other nations, it is the assessment of the British government, the U.S. government, the French government that Syria was the culprit. I cannot speak on their behalf, but we've all been having conversations and sharing information, intelligence included, and we can say that the Syrian government was behind the attack, Nauert said. The U.S. assertion relies on different kind of sources, including those of its own, she said. He said, she said stuff. It's unclear if the strongest worded attribution of blame by the U.S. so far is based on some newly uncovered evidence, pressed on whether Washington had obtained some new proof that explicitly points at Damascus' role in the incident. Nauert did not provide any new details, saying that she is not in a position to divulge the intelligence data. She went on to criticize some TV shows that are calling on the White House to offer some facts in support of accusations. A lot of this stuff is classified at this point. We are unable to provide all of this publicly at this moment, she said. Now, mind you, they'll go in and they'll bomb the hell out of the area so that there's no way that anybody else can get in there to get any evidence. By the way, what about the OPCW? Yeah, I don't know. It's a bunch of letters. What about them sending their team in to gather this evidence? What about them? What's going to happen now with that? At the same time, Newark admitted that the U.S. has, so far, failed independently to determine what substance was used in the alleged chemical attack. On Tuesday, when we last met, I talked how we knew it was a chemical weapon that was used in Syria. The exact kind or the mix of that chemical weapon we are still looking into. At a briefing on Tuesday, Newark said, "We do know that some sort of substance was used." Are you kidding me? They could have used a firefighting water bomber. And are you kidding me? It could have been baking powder. Who knows? This is insane. I would think that you would have to have some kind of proof or something, right? Something more than this. She also dismissed the statement by the Russian Defense Ministry that the UK government could have pressured the rebel-linked White Helmets group, which was the primary source of the photos and videos from the site of the supposed attack, to stage a provocation in Douma. Yeah, I wouldn't trust the White Helmets as far as I could shoot them. On Thursday, Russian Defense Ministry spokesman Major General Igor Konashnikov, and I know I got that way off, said that Moscow has evidence that Britain had a direct involvement in arranging this provocation in eastern Ghouta. The UK rebuffed the accusations, calling them grotesque. Newark echoed an earlier statement by White House spokesperson Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who said on Friday that Washington has a very high confidence that Syria was responsible, while accusing Russia of a failure to head off the alleged attack. So see, they're continuing to blame Russia and drag Russia into this too. And that is not a good idea. That is not a good idea. China's already spoke up and said that anything Russia needs to let them know. They are absolutely backing Russia 100%. Hang on to your hats, or should I say, put on the damn helmet. Right now, Trump, I believe, is making that statement. Let me bring that up right now. This is live. It just came up. It's kind of live. One second here. Here we go. I'll bring it up.
Weapons attack against his own innocent people. The United States responded with 58 missile strikes that destroyed 20% of the Syrian Air Force. Last Saturday, the Assad regime again deployed chemical weapons to slaughter innocent civilians, this time in the town of Douma, near the Syrian capital of Damascus. This massacre was a significant escalation in a pattern of chemical weapons use by that very terrible regime. The evil and the despicable attack left mothers and fathers, infants and children thrashing in pain and gasping for air. These are not the actions of a man. They are crimes of a monster instead. Following the horrors of World War I a century ago, civilized nations joined together to ban chemical warfare. Chemical weapons are uniquely dangerous, not only because they inflict gruesome suffering, but because even small amounts can unleash widespread devastation. The purpose of our actions tonight is to establish a strong deterrent against the production, spread, and use of chemical weapons. Establishing this deterrent is a vital national security interest of the United States. The combined American, British, and French response to these atrocities will integrate all instruments of our national power, military, economic, and diplomatic. We are prepared to sustain this response until the Syrian regime stops its use of prohibited chemical agents. I also have a message tonight for the two governments most responsible for supporting, equipping, and financing the criminal Assad regime. To Iran and to Russia, I ask, what kind of a nation wants to be associated with the mass murder of innocent men, women, and children? The nations of the world can be judged by the friends they keep. No nation can succeed in the long run by promoting rogue states, brutal tyrants, and murderous dictators. In 2013, President Putin and his government promised the world that they would guarantee the elimination of Syria's chemical weapons. Assad's recent attack and today's response are the direct result of Russia's failure to keep that promise. Russia must decide if it will continue down this dark path or if it will join with civilized nations as a force for stability and peace. Hopefully someday we'll get along with Russia and maybe even Iran, but maybe not. I will say this, the United States has a lot to offer. With the greatest and most powerful economy in the history of the world. In Syria, the United States, with but a small force being used to eliminate what is left of ISIS, is doing what is necessary to protect the American people. Over the last year, nearly 100% of the territory once controlled by the so-called ISIS Caliphate in Syria and Iraq has been liberated and eliminated. The United States has also rebuilt our friendships across the Middle East. We have asked our partners to take greater responsibility for securing their home region, including contributing large amounts of money for the resources, equipment, and all of the anti-ISIS effort. Increased engagement from our friends, including Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Egypt, and others, can ensure that Iran does not profit from the eradication of ISIS. America does not seek an indefinite presence in Syria under no circumstances. As other nations step up their contributions, we look forward to the day when we can bring our warriors home, and great warriors they are. Looking around our very troubled world, Americans have no illusions. We cannot purge the world of evil or act everywhere there is tyranny. No amount of American blood or treasure can produce lasting peace and security in the Middle East. It's a troubled place. We will try to make it better, but it is a troubled place. The United States will be a partner and a friend, but the fate of the region lies in the hands of its own people. In the last century, we looked straight into the darkest places of the human soul. We saw the anguish that can be unleashed and the evil that can take hold. By the end of World War I, more than 1 million people had been killed or injured by chemical weapons. We never want to see that ghastly specter return. So today, the nations of Britain, France, and the United States of America have marshaled their righteous power against barbarism and brutality. Tonight I ask all Americans to say a prayer for our noble warriors and our allies as they carry out their missions. We pray that God will bring comfort to those suffering in Syria. We pray that God will guide the whole region toward a future of dignity and of peace. And we pray that God will continue to watch over and bless the United States of America. Thank you and good night. Thank you.
Folks, we are hitting right now. Right this moment, we are hitting Let me, I'm trying to figure out how to get to their, here, hang on. Usually they have a banner that you can click on, takes them right to the home page. Explosions heard in Damascus region, says reports, and let me pull up RT right here. RT, I got the tweet, or, oh, okay, it's breaking now. Hang on 1 second. U.S. military precision strikes on Syria approved. Trump watch live. Okay, that's just him. Hang on. So once again, Sputnik has beat RT to the punch. Explosions heard in Damascus region. According to reports, explosions have been heard within Syria's Damascus region as U.S. President Donald Trump announced on Friday that he was ordering to launch precision strikes on Syria. Folks, wow. Wow. I've been saying it, and I'm going to say it again. Put on the damn helmet. It's as simple as that. Say some prayers. Give some hugs and some kisses to your loved ones. This could turn ugly, and turn ugly fast. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this report. I will put the links to the web pages that I just showed, along to the video from our local KMOV news station of Trump speaking in the description of the video. I'm going to both wrap up the show and this report at the same time, closing it as I always close, and it could not be any more fitting tonight. God bless you all. We love you all. Be one with your spirit.